That looks bad, doesn't it? It's like a gouge. The camera, I don't usually do filming, but I'm gonna film myself. As long as you guys are okay, it's just gonna point this way. I may start doing more cameras. Here you go, Daniel. Thank you guys for coming. All right, are you rolling yet, Daddy-O? Okay. We'll talk about this in a second. And you may want to scoot your mats really close together. You can play with it as we go. We always kind of do a lot side by side, so having the mats as one big mat is my preference. So, all right. Welcome, welcome. We're just gonna go around and say our names real quick, just for the sake of like a group community vibe. I'm Casey Metzlars. Thank you for coming and sharing this practice. I really believe in doing partner yoga at home with your family and loved ones, so I hope that you take this home with you and there's tools you can use. Introduce yourself real quick.
I am Eric Metzlars, spouse, partner. I do yoga at least once a month. I find myself doing it at work. If I'm standing, I do my forward folds, and it feels good. But I like doing this because it feels a little more fun.
Yeah, fun.
It's definitely more fun.
Yeah. And then if you guys just want to just quick say your name, and if you have a thing you want to share, you're more than welcome. So you going to start us over here?
I'm Jill Walkerhausen. I've only been doing yoga just a couple of years, so I'm pretty new to the practice myself, and I just really enjoy it and like dragging them along. Participate with me.
I'm David Walkerhausen. I'm her spouse.
Thanks for being here.
Daniel Fancher. I've done yoga before. Actually, we both done yoga before. Been a while though, so we're anxious, a little bit nervous, a lot of popping going on.
And I'm Macy Lee.
That's great.
I'm Matt. I'm Travis.
All right. So this practice tonight, every time we meet for couples yoga, I try to bring a little bit of something new, but there's a lot of the same too, so that you get comfortable doing things together. But tonight, I wanted to take a moment to address the 5 love languages, because this really, the heart of this practice or these gatherings is to help us with our intimacy, communication, connection, just growing the bond. So, and the 5 love languages was like early in our marriage, and it's really helped in terms of communication. But linking it to yoga practice, so yoga, as many of you may or may not know, is more than just the yoga postures. There's a whole rich philosophy and history behind the poses, and there are 3 that are mentioned on your little sheet, so you can look at the sheet. The 3 that are mentioned are Svadhyaya, which means self-study or self-reflection. So without this piece in a relationship, how the hell is he supposed to know what I want if I don't know what I want? So it starts with me understanding what I need and want, and then being able to communicate it honestly. So that's where Satya comes in, this practice of truthfulness with self and with others. And then I think the last one I mentioned, and this is really important, is ahimsa, the desire to do no harm. And I don't know if you've ever been in this situation, depending on how much you've had to eat or how much sleep you've had, your partner says something they need, and you get defensive, like, oh, I tried my best, So I'm hopeful that in this laid back, intimate, fun, playful kind of way today, that maybe you can just kind of address something that you've been needing or wanting. but in a space where we can hear each other, where we're not going to be reactive. And yoga really is, in big part, learning to be less reactive and more proactive and aware. So I want you to take just like 2 or 3 minutes alone. You can sit back to back so you're not like peeking at each other. And I want you, and we're doing this too, babe, because it's time. And you do not have to fill out all of them. In fact, if you just do one, because that's your love language, and you know what you're wanting, that's fine. They're listed, all 5 love languages are listed, and if you have a question about what one is, let me know. We're gonna taper that off. We're gonna come back to that at the end where we might talk about it a little and add things that might come up as we're doing our postures. And you can set those aside. And we're gonna start off sitting back to back. The blocks and blanket are there for anyone who might need some more support underneath their hips. But what's nice about sitting back to back with your partner is you can really lean on them, and hopefully it takes a little pressure off of your body. So start by kind of pushing into each other and create a length. So when we're doing our asanas or our yoga postures, I'll say root to rise. So think about grounding down with some active force through your sit bones, but pulling up through the top of the head. Finding that length, and then again, pressing back into each other. Maybe we roll the shoulders back into each other and we start to nuzzle each other with those shoulder blades. And you can really kind of get into almost massaging each other here. And after a little bit of that, just finding a moment of stillness together. Hands just facing down on the knees. Closing the eyes and taking a few breaths, syncing up your breath, inhaling together, exhaling together. And keep in mind, you're allowed to talk and laugh and play during this time together. But also doing things non-verbally, using body language, eye contact, or subtle physical gestures to communicate is a great practice too. So let's set the collective intention to focus on connection here and a little bit of vulnerability. I know just showing up for this kind of practice takes some vulnerability, so you're already doing it. All right, so before we do anything crazy with our bodies, let's go ahead and ease around to standing. So if you want to, I like to go four-legged for a moment, coming from seated, turning the body. You might be in a squat, hands on the ground. From there, you can kind of press up almost down, forward fold style. And then you can place your hands on your thighs and come up. I just like to picture myself like I'm 150 years old and I'm still peeling myself off the ground with this like stability focus coming up. And we're gonna do a warm up to kind of get blood pumping and heart rate up. So for starters, you just shake your own body. And it's gonna be like loose, like you're flicking water off your hands. Maybe you're bouncing on the heels. I like to get the shoulders in. And every now and then I'll do like I call it horsey lips. So just let it, all that tension in your jaw. Hips, you can try balancing and shaking out a leg. And we're gonna shake for about a couple more minutes, but we're gonna start to turn and face each other. And this is the part where you go from just shaking by yourself to now you get to mirror each other. So we'll find out who's the more outgoing of the two of you, who's gonna lead the weirder stuff, but try to mirror each other. Keep shaking. Shake faster. Don't forget about your neck. Your tailbone, oh my goodness. It's like the Bernie. Okay, now we're gonna switch to hands on. So you can tap each other, help out with that shake. Maybe you grab them and shake them. You can talk to each other about what you might want. Frisk them. Pat them up and down. Why do we do this stuff? Well, it's great for lymphatic movement. It's fun, it releases tension, mostly for the practical reason of circulation. But I just like it. Oh yeah, shake the apples. You can grab the hips and like really shake the apples. When I was pregnant, it was like all I ever wanted. Just shake me. Okay. So now we're gonna come back to kind of standing. See how you feel. Just standing side by side. And close your eyes. Work on that root to rise energy. So pressing down through all your feet. I'd like you to lift your toes and spread your toes out. Make sure they're not all crunching up on the mat there. Lay the toes back down. Keep pressing into the feet evenly. Lengthen up through the spine, firm legs. Good. Mountain pose. Maybe you notice that little pulse in the hands, a little energy flow. All right, so we're gonna face each other. And some of these are a lot of fun, but please be mindful of, like, especially if there's a weight differential, we have to communicate here. So we're gonna start off, you're so sassy. We're gonna start off, grab each other's forearms. And I like to point my toes and knees in alignment. So start off by just, finding that mountain pose. Think of a plank. Push the feet in the floor, hug the knees up, pull your shoulders back a little, and then start to lean away from each other and support each other, kind of planking. I need you more this way towards me. Good. So you can pull your chest up towards each other. And what you can even start to do here is think about like a little bit of back bend. So we'll look up, and it's a heart opening quality. The more the head hangs back, it's harder to breathe. So you can always tip your chin as you lift your heart. But try for about a 5-second inhale, 5-second exhale. See if you can even try to breathe together there. On that exhale, you may pull your shoulders away from each other. Pull the shoulder blades in towards the spine. And you may start to feel warmer while you're doing this. So on your next out breath together, you're going to come back to standing mountain pose, facing each other, and not afraid to make eye contact. Good. Good, so we're gonna just go mountain pose, palms face each other, eyes open and gazing. Inhale, both arms up. See if you can hold that eye contact. Good, exhale, we're gonna side bend in the same direction so that you're kind of keeping that gaze. Inhale, center, exhale, side bend. Always like to do some side bends. Lateral movement is so important. All right, so we're gonna bend our arms like kind of cactus style. Good, and then we're gonna step back so that we can grab each other's forearms, but we're gonna cross So I hold his right arm, he holds mine, left, doesn't matter which is on top. And we're gonna kind of come back, we're leaning back into a chair pose, and you may have to walk your feet closer together or wider. So you wanna get to where you're both kind of sitting and there's this counterbalance of weight. So if you're the heavier partner, you just gotta be mindful of your center of gravity. If you're lighter, don't let them go. And from here, we're gonna open up into a twist. So figure out which hand, usually the upper hand is easier to start with. Whichever hands are on top, let it go and reach back. Follow that thumb, if you can, look at it. Yeah. So that 5 count, inhale, exhale here. And expand, lean away. Good. Come back. All right, come back to center. You can reset, you can take a break. You can pummel them again if they deserve it, okay? And then sit back in your chair again. And this time we know we're gonna do the other arm. And just observing, be really generous here, slow, the spine deserves your respect. Good, so lengthen the arms away from each other. Push into the feet. Big inhale, big exhale. See if you can bring the arms back around on exhalation together. Are your thighs burning?
Too much chair for daddy.
Woo! All right, so now you can pummel their poor little thighs. Shake those legs out. All right, so let's go one partner facing away. And kind of work your shoulders here. So this one's gonna really be for shoulders. It's gonna open up the chest. So we're gonna reach our arms back. And again, I like a forearm grip. You may find you like hands better. And what I'm gonna do is just kind of pull away, push my heart towards the wall, lean and trust. So see how we're building trust? Good. And you can lift that chin up high, push into the legs. Why am I thinking of the movie Titanic here? So breathe. Now the person in the back, you can be working on your own posture here, lifting your chest up. Good. So let's come together with ease. Turn and switch roles. Okay. So I find he's a little heavier than me, and it helps me to almost squat again. So go ahead and take your time leaning away from your partner. And I like to get down into that squat shape. So you might ask them, do you want more? How are you there? I'm good. So I can raise your arms higher. Do you want to try that? Higher. Nah. So big breaths, try to breathe together. See if you can tell where their breath is just by watching their back move. Good. It's just thinking about this phrase like, I got you, I got you. So this is our act of service and quality time. We're gonna reach back up, straighten the bodies, come back in. Good. And you can touch their shoulders and kind of press down and give a little squeeze, and then a wipe down the back. Good. All right, so we're a little bit more warmed up. So let's go ahead and come into, let's do an individual downward dog first. So coming onto hands and knees, getting ready for that. Bearing weight in the hands if you haven't done it a lot today. Spread those fingers flat, palms flat, and move around into your hands and wrists. So you can do a push-up contest if you want. I'm kidding, but you can start to play around with lifting your knees. I like a bear plank where you just lift the knees, keep the knees bent. But start to activate your belly, putting more weight in the hands. And for downward dog, which is one of those poses I know I used to absolutely hate because it just sucked, right? It just hurts and everything's screaming, the whole back of the body. So why not go into it with knees bent? If you know you hate it, just bend the knees and keep your spine elongated. And for downward dog, we want our neck to be released, so we want to look back towards the toes or knees. Now, if you know you like down dog and you want to stretch those legs or lift those legs or move around, that's fine. And just take a moment to experiment with your own down dog. So when you come back down to hands and knees, do a couple rounds of cat-cow. Inhale, sway back, exhale, around the spine. Nice and easy there. And then bring the spine up. All right, so we're gonna do partner dog, and I have 3 different ways I like to teach doing partner dog together. What's your favorite way, babe?
I know the one where I put my feet up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna start with that one then.
All right.
All right, can you go sideways? So downward dog.
Check.
This is probably the more like athletic version.
Oh, no.
So you're gonna wanna be, not for you so much. So I start facing away and I come down and I'm actually gonna put my feet up on him. And this is fun because I can push into him and I'm getting a big shoulder stretch. And I have like goals to do handstand and stuff. So that's maybe appropriate for you, maybe not. A much more relaxing way is to face them, put your hands in that same spot up near the sacrum, take a breath in together, and on that breath out, you kind of push. And I'm pushing mostly that way, but a little bit downward, okay? It's like I'm pushing him away. So I think you've pushed me so firmly that I've been able to lift my hands. Okay, so why doesn't everybody try one or both of those? No pressure to do the feet on the back one unless you think that looks fun. But take a moment to play with that. And I really do mean play. And you can be on the mat whichever way suits you. Good. The beautiful thing about when you're getting that adjustment is you start to feel the flow of down dog because you're getting a little relief. You should feel a little relief somewhere. And if you're feeling relief in your back, that means you can maybe press your heels down more and work on your leg flexibility more. Good. All right. When you are the person who is giving the adjustment, make sure you're taking care of your back as well. So doing things like, again, lengthening, bending the knees as needed. Yeah, that's a good spot. So if you push hard, I can soften the weight in my hands to almost nothing. Nice. Deep breaths. So we're sticking with that 5-3-5 kind of count. 5 inhale, about a 3-second pause, 5 exhale. Good. All right, so let's go ahead and just work our way back to a standing position. It can come through forward fold, however you want to come back up. Thank your partner for that adjustment. I appreciate you. And we're going to switch partners. I'm going to show you yet a third way you can adjust. So whoever did not do down dog, go ahead and find your down dog. You can come back to hands and knees and lift back up. And the other partner, so why don't you down dog again, is going to stand behind you. And this is yet another way to relieve the weight they're putting on their hands and kind of make down dog a little more easeful. So what I'm doing is approaching, and I just don't like the way this looks. So I always put my foot here. You do it however you guys want. So I'll grab his hips and I'll kind of push in. So there's I'm working on strength, opening up the sacrum a little there, push in and pull back towards. Okay, I absolutely love having this done. And listen to your partner about what they like.
Yeah, pull back.
I can pull back more. So you could probably, I'm pushing really hard and pulling towards me at the same time. And he's able to hopefully lighten the weight on the hands.
Yeah, you can push less and pull more.
Or I can go straight front of the hips and grab those hips and lean back and put all my weight back. How's that?
That's the stuff.
Is that the stuff? Good. So, just talk to each other. I wonder if I can move your tailbone side to side like this, how that feels. Good. So make sure if you're in the down dog, make sure you're looking back towards your knees, let your neck relax. And that's something else I'll do. So I'm gonna let go of your weight, babe. And I might just like slide my hand down and kind of remind them, let your head hang. Okay? So you can see how this can become really intimate and really beautiful if you do it at home. And at the end of the day, doing these kind of stretches together, going to bed without excess tension is going to help you sleep better, help you wake up happier. And if you're a more exercise in the morning kind of person, going to bed with the stretch in is a really good idea. So Eric is going into child's pose. So when we're done with the down dog, a great recovery is to do a supported or partner child's pose. His knees are wide and toes together. You can always do a variation more knees together. And for us, we have no knee problems, so putting weight here is actually quite nice, and it feels really good on the hips. So, do I have permission to sit on you? Oh, yeah. So, like a lot of times I will just sit on him. And that's what he wants. And then I can do stuff like this with my hands, massage it out. And I do encourage you to spend a moment breathing together here. Anytime we can synchronize our breath, whatever posture we find ourselves in life is helpful. And believe it or not, when I receive this, I also like him to sit on me. I've had a almost 300-pound person sit on me, and I'm like, more! Because it just, that compression. Another one that I haven't really experimented with you much, babe, is to grab my ankle all the way around, and I'm gonna push on you here and kind of step back. And that one gives him something to pull against. So you can try either variation of that adjustment, and go ahead and switch partners here soon so that both of you get a chance to experiment. And let me know if you have any questions about how it's going. Don't forget those horsey lips or those big open mouth exhales too, letting out some tension. Well, here, I'd like you to do the adjustment I just did on you. Give me your ankle, yeah. So step your foot back further.
Yeah.
And again, as long as the knees aren't protesting, this would be pretty good. But watch out for that. A way to resolve if knees are a problem is have him lay on his stomach and do the same kind of just pressing down into that sacrum point. Good. So, give you a chance to do a little more there. You guys are making up new poses now. All right, so we're gonna come to standing up again. When you're ready, no problem, take your time. Did you like that one? Yeah. All right, so we're gonna go into a partner tree. And thinking about our 5 love languages again, sort of like we've already been showing up for each other, quality time, there's been trust. This one is a gift of presence and stability. So how great is it when you've had a shitty day and you come home and your partner's like, I got you. This is a chance to kind of embody that feeling of like, I got you. You're wobbly, I got you. We're wobbly together, okay. And just feeling through it. So we're gonna do mountain pose really close, almost elbows, shoulders kind of brushing against each other. But when I think about mountain pose, I kind of feel myself like I'm hanging from the ceiling and with this length there. We're gonna make sure that our legs and belly is active. So there's like a squeeze in the buttocks and thighs and belly. So we feel real sturdy. And for starters, let's just take the arms that are close to each other and kind of find that placement of like holding each other. The distance between the legs that are closer may need to change as we transfer our body weight onto one leg, and it's the legs close to each other. Good. Now, tree pose is partially a hip opener, so we want to take this knee and open it out to the side. Good. So this outer arm, move that shoulder. Maybe you can hold on to your partner and get some movement in there. We'll reach it up and hold there. So pushing our feet together. Another hack is just put your toe down and put your heel in, so you're still getting the hip opener, and maybe get a little less wobbly. All right, so breathe in together, offering them that support, showing up just as how you are today, and having a sense of humor when we fall out. Let's see if we can also take this arm, and my thumb's gonna point down, and I'm gonna try to bring it behind and see if I can find his fingers. There we go. So, and if it's not quite there, you can just grab a t-shirt, a belt loop, your own hip, pull the chest forward, breathe. So you could even kiss each other here if you were being playful. Taking it slow. As we exit the pose, we don't want to knock each other over, and we want to do it gradually, bringing the knee forward, bringing the foot down, sliding apart, and then I like to call it a full body shoulder roll. You slouch, and then you come up, shoulders to ears, and kind of through a back bend, and do it again, waving the spine. One more time, really breathe into it. All right, so then we're gonna switch sides. So we can do that on the other side. Let's start off in our side-by-side mountain. You can even hold hands, or something we were playing with last month, I believe, kind of pushing our hands into each other. So as I push the back of my hand into his palm, he pushes towards me, so there's this resistance. And we'll slide arms around each other, finding that right fit as we come to standing on one leg. Navel strong. So all that blueprint of mountain pose is still there. Strong legs, strong butt, strong belly. Breathe. And play with that outer arm, reaching up, moving the shoulder. Softening the face. Might help if you're both looking at something similar at the wall ahead of you. And then we're going to try bringing that outer arm behind us. And if we can, getting as close to bringing the fingers together as we can. And that might pull the shoulders back for us. Breathing in sync again if we can. Good. Anyone else getting hot? Sweaty? So we want to come out with ease. Feel each other move. Knee forward, come down. Whew. And this time, just a little hip circle as we come out. Nicely done. All right. Arm swings. Keep it loose. All right, so you're gonna come down, sit back to back again, and extend your legs. So this combo is something we almost do every month. I really like this one for, again, feeling into each other. Start with the breath, making sure as we inhale, we're inhaling together. Exhaling together. challenging each other to sit up or supporting each other and doing a nice tall spine. If sitting with your legs extended is killing your back, please bend your knees here. Just a little pop of the knees, lengthen up through the spine. So we're going to take turns giving this gift of our own stability in our own bodies, giving and receiving back bend, forward bend. So I'm going to offer a forward bend to Eric. And in doing so on an exhale, I might start to lean forward. He gets space to lean back and back bend. And again, I'm doing it with my knees bent just because I feel like it gives him a better platform to work with. And it spares my back. So yes, oh, there you go. Wiggle those shoulders, I love it. So wiggling the shoulders, and then you can play with moving your arms. So I know in the past, Eric and I will like join hands here, and I'll just try to help him float his arms out to that like a cross position, or maybe even reaching overhead, and I hold his fingers and I kind of give a little pull there. And if I hold the hands just right, let me get a better grip on you. You can almost let go of the shoulders. What's the best grip there? Getting your wrists? All right, so I'm holding the wrists. So it's not super relaxing for the base, but I do like the feeling of taking his body weight and sort of offering up my body as a platform for release for him. So if you're in that back bend, maybe exhale through your mouth. Stay there. Play with different positions in the arms. Ask your partner for what you need. If you want to just let your arms rest on the floor, just let that happen. That's fine. If you want them to fold forward more, if they're physically capable, see if you can go deeper. So the weight of your head can be resting on your partner's back. I thought you were just fine there. And if lolling the head side to side feels good for you in that back bend, you can play with just a little neck movement. So I'm just going to go quiet for a few moments here. Let you breathe together and even be uncomfortable together. Micro adjusting. Let's go ahead and begin to switch the offering. So if you come up slowly, pause at center. You can reset both of your backs. Move around a little bit here. If you know your neck is stiff, just kind of lean on them here and move around. You can give each other little like neck hugs here even. So when we go into the reverse, I'm going to demonstrate lifting my hips up, because when I lean back on him, and you may want to bend your knees for yours, I can sometimes come up and get a little bit better back bend for myself by coming up and then draping down, and I'll kind of slide back down. So you can come into it however you like. And I do like to have my arms held for a time and get that extra stretch. And if you think, I'd like to, lift my butt off the ground more, you can always sit on a block here. So you can kind of restart, put that block under you. So maybe you have a better position over the rounded part of their spine. Another way to do it is to cross your arms as you recline back on your person. Good. Find that synchronized breath again. So this could be considered an act of service, physical touch, quality time, gift, all wrapped up in one experience. And if you whisper, "You're beautiful," you got your words of affirmation too. Or just saying kind things, offering kind eyes as we return back to sitting together, sitting up together. All right. We'll come sitting side by side. So now I want you to grab your notes from before, like what you wrote on the piece of paper. And before you share it, we're going to do, I don't even know if I have a name for this practice, but let's call it heart-centered breathing. So one partner, you stay where you are, babe. One partner is going to sit sideways. Make sure that you're seated comfortably but tall. I'm going to rub my hands together. Place one hand on the front of his chest over his heart and one at the back. And just sending him love and breathing together again. And this is where we're committing to simply feeling the other person's energy, acknowledging their goodness, their good qualities, opening doors to forgiveness and understanding, empathy. Because it's going to make us better listeners. We're going to be able to open our hearts to each other more readily when it comes time to share our needs, maybe be heard more clearly. Consider this a cup-filling moment. For both of you. You can start to rub their back a little or give another round of taps. And switch partners. Consider what it would be like to do this for one another instead of having, I don't know, like if you need to have a difficult conversation, but one or both of you are upset. And what if we did this first before we tried to have that hard conversation? We're not avoiding difficult conversations, but we're trying to come to those moments together as peaceful and calm and in control of our emotions as we possibly can, getting our nervous system relaxed. This is great for when our nervous system is just a little out of whack. Finding that synchronized breath. One more deep breath together. And we're going to turn to face one another. And this is maybe one of the more challenging postures you're ever going to do. We're going to sit face to face. We're going to start with our eyes closed. You can, if you want to touch hands or hands on legs or even hands at heart again, you're welcome to do that. And we start off with our eyes closed, in a good posture, feeling anchored and tall. And we're going to open our eyes, and for just 1 minute, we're going to hold eye contact. Go ahead and open your eyes, gazing with your partner. When you're ready, one more breath. You can close your eyes together. Notice how that felt. No judgment though, just noticing, was it awkward? Was it fun? Was it hard? Was it peaceful? And now we're just going to take a moment to quietly, you can whisper, you can read, or you can speak just one thing off of your sheet to your partner. And then we're going to do our final relaxation stuff. You're going to edit this out, okay? I want to do quality time, jamming with you. Want to start making time for that. I don't know how, when, or where. But I thought you'd like these too. Ooh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I knew that was going to be way. Yeah. Well, great. Kitchen, music, garage.
Yeah. I feel like we've been getting good quality time, right? Since vacation.
Let's try to do all those things before next meetup. So when we're wrapping up the conversation, no rush, we're gonna lay your head in your partner's lap. And just kind of love on him a little bit. Eric's gonna lay his head in my lap with I'm gonna try the blanket. You like the blanket?
Yeah, that's nice.
With the head in the lap, you can push your hands down into their shoulders, grounding, or again, kind of pushing into the upper chest. There's all these lymph nodes and glands here that feels good to stimulate those manually. There's a little facial massage, taking the thumbs and tracing firmly around the eyebrows, circling around the temples. Squeezing the earlobes, massaging the ears, or running fingers through the scalp, or even pulling the hair a little bit to kind of stretch that area around the scalp. Syncing up the breath again. preparing to switch, we might say words of affirmation, especially if that was something your partner wrote. It's wonderful. What a little thank you. I appreciate you. I see you. It doesn't have to be perfect. And when you're ready, kind of ease back up to switch roles. So we give and receive. Oh. Just keep reminding yourselves to breathe together. To stay in tune with the breath. Look for areas of tension that you might help relieve just by lightly resting your hands somewhere or offering gentle massage. And if touch is hard for you, not your favorite, you can always just be the pillow and sit tall and offer your presence. One more deep breath. Begin to move gently back up to seated. Helping your partner up. And we'll go back to our back-to-back. A lot of ways you can do that shared Shavasana. This was a newer one for our group, the head in the lap. So finding that tall spine again, and again, nestling into your partner. We're going to do a seated twist. It's a great way to kind of unwind together. Again, this back-to-back breathing and twist before bed could be a phenomenal way to release the tension of the day. So finding that tall spine, a rooted energy through the sit bones. Lift your arms together on inhalation. Figure out which way you're going to twist. Twisting in the same at the same time, the same direction. Smoothly landing your hands on your partner. I've got my hand on his knee and one on my own knee. And just going into that twist as firmly as you feel is safe for both of you. And finding several deep breaths here, avoiding slouching, avoiding the ribs collapsing down into the belly, keeping those ribs lifted a little. When you're ready, inhaling back to center. And pick a direction. One of you fold forward, one of you tip back. So variation with maybe the legs crossed this time instead of extended. Coming back up. We'll twist the other way. And on exhale together, take that twist. So find your length. Find your exhale. I always kind of picture like a noble king and queen. We want our shoulders pulled away from the ears, a nice tall neck. Not necessarily our nose is in the air, but proud. Breathing in together, breathing out together. Inhaling as we center. Exhaling, taking either the fold or the back bend. Switching it up. Whenever you can, lift your hips up off the ground if you like. And coming back up to seated. Back to back, breathing in sync. We'll bring our hands this time into prayer position at the heart center. Eyes closed and centering our breath, feeling a moment of gratitude for one another. Just thinking about 3 things about your partner that you're grateful for. And maybe there's more. Now think about yourself and 3 things that you know you bring to this relationship that you're proud of, grateful for, feel good about. And then taking an opportunity to just be grateful for the bond, the connection you share. And I want to thank you for spending this time with us and focusing on each other. I believe that when we work on ourselves and our relationships, we build a better, stronger community. So thank you for being here. Maybe you guys will share those gratitudes on your way home. Something nice to talk about. Good job, you guys. Clap for your partner. Good job, Dad.